Hello and welcome back to Under the Twin Suns. We hope you enjoyed the new intro. Steve's been hard working at it. He's just the king of artistic designs and whatnot. It's
I
me,
am so
Cole.
autistic, you have no idea.
Dude, I'm telling you, it helps, right? Like, look at you. You learn the patterns. I'm just saying. Ruben and Chris are also here. It's great to be
Sup?
back.
Let's.
Oh,
So, guys, pre-releases happened. The set's been quote unquote out. It'll be out by this time this comes out. It's Thursday night. But what do we all think of Legends of the Force? Our initial thoughts on how pre-releases went.
I would say that it's pretty popular. I think it got a lot, like our local shop. I think it was pretty successful. We had 21 people for the event locally, and we had a lot of players that came from different, you know, like different areas. But not only that, but then we did another Legends of the Force draft on that Monday night, and we had 16 players too.
Yeah.
So I think just my initial thoughts is that people are really enjoying Legends of the Force just because of it's a lot of Force units and people like, all the new cards that are being, released and the new leaders, and it brings up that buzz again. So I guess my first initial thoughts would be for the game itself, I think it was a very healthy showing for us locally. So that would be my thoughts on it.
One of my things is so I have one good thing and one bad thing. Dude, the art has been stepped up. It's real now. It feels less cartoony. It feels a lot grittier. I like the foils feel a little bit better. Some of the hyperspaces look better. And I don't know about you guys, this is a big thing for me. The ink is not as badly running in most of the cards I've gotten. Like, if you
Well,
look
that's
at
always
set
good.
3 cards, they're freaking awful. They're just so runny and the ink is so messed up. So that's my good thing. I do have one bad thing. These pre-release boxes, and I also believe the regular boxes, and we can talk about this a little bit more in the main topic. I believe they are heavily mappable. I believe we have gone back in time. They fixed this for sets 3 and 4. They did not fix this for set 2, and I think they have not fixed this for set 5. Cole, why do you say this? I have two pieces of data to support my theory. Number one, I went to a pre-release. I'm sorry, guys, I cheated on you. I went to Battlegrounds on Tuesday. I went to a pre-release at Battlegrounds on Tuesday. Out of the 12 of us who were there, 6 of us pulled a Vader and 6 of us pulled a Bendu. My second piece of evidence that I present to the jury is at Waterloo, we pulled about 14 Carbonite boxes, right? Out of those 14 boxes, 4 of them were Qui-Gon Jinn showcases. I rest my case. However, I am
I don't
enjoying the
know.
set.
I don't know how anybody pulled a Vader. I thought Ruben pulled them all.
I did.
I
I did.
yeah
I
yeah
did.
he
I
owns them
pulled.
Ruben
all.
pulled like 300 of them
I
things.
think I pulled 6 total.
Holy.
Steve's got 2 of them.
Well, Steve,
Yeah, I mean,
I
he
have
was
one.
overfull
We can talk
and
later.
they were coming out of his ears. I was like, hey, man, help a brother out.
Chris, thoughts on pre-release?
I mean, I enjoyed. Um, I've heard some folks say that the new set is hard to draft. There's not enough removal,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I don't know. You just have to kind of find your groove per se. Um, I had fun. I enjoyed. I like the set. I agree about the art. I think for the most part, the art is great. I do think that I mean art is subjective. There are some cards and some art that, I don't enjoy that I think maybe other people do. Like, the only showcase I've pulled and is Luke from last set, and I don't I have heard a lot of people say that they love that artwork. but,
Hold up
but
with it.
but
It makes me laugh.
maybe someone does.
Different strokes for different folks.
But I did think that there are a couple showcases in this set where I don't know, I feel like a lot of the prestige cards are like what everyone's looking for, and that's like the premium art now. And even showcases are not like, I don't know. I feel like the artwork in showcases isn't, just doesn't compare to the prestige cards now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But overall, I'm pleased. Um, Later on, I might have some more thoughts when we get to the hot take.
Yeah, me too. I've
But
got some opinions.
yeah, but for the moment, I'll leave it there.
Steve, thoughts on pre-release?
It was great. Like Ruben said, we had a lot of new players and families that were coming out. It was awesome to see so many new faces and showing people the cards and teaching them the the new mechanics and everything. So that was really cool. I feel like the set itself, it's got some really cool flavor. I mean, we got Revan. Like that is awesome. If you told me a
That's
year
my
ago
guy.
this game was gonna have Revan in it, like I would have just fangirled out right there. Like it is so cool. I like the force mechanic. I think it's a lot of fun. The hidden mechanic feels kind of but uh all in all I like the set. I think that there were some big flaws in it, which I mean we'll get into later, but overall the pre-release was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I I did the same strategy for the pre-release that I did for the draft, and that is does build a Snoke deck, and it was a lot of fun.
Steve, you
I
wanna? Oh, sorry, Chris.
I just want to add when we're, I don't know, I want to add overall that I feel like we keep or FFG keeps adding gimmicks with each new set release. You know, the Force token was the gimmick here. You know, you've got the Force, and it, I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of keeping, you know, continuously adding these new mechanics instead of adding support for old mechanics. You
Mm-hmm.
know, what about Smuggle? Where's Smuggle at?
That's
Can we
what
get
I'm
more?
saying. Preach.
So that I think is my biggest gripe with this new set. Like I'm all about more Force units. I'm all about the Force. I'm all about our Jedi. I'm all about our Sith. All about Revan. But I would just like to see us go back and add some more support for some of our previous mechanics.
Like it's insane that I cannot still Bo Katan came out in set 2. It is
Yeah,
set
no Mando
5.
decks.
I still don't have enough Mandos to make a Twin Suns deck. That is insane. Like
I
there's no reason for that.
I'm praying that we get a bunch in Secrets of Power, but that's for another day, and I know that's not gonna happen.
It'll all be contained in itself and support nothing. Anyway,
Steve, you wanna tell us about a meme that'll get us in our happy places?
yeah, I got a cool meme. So we finally got an Ewok. We have exactly one Ewok in the game. Village Tender. He is a one resource, 1/3, restore one. So we have our Ewok, okay? And we all know Ewoks, they like to eat people.
Yummy, yummy.
So turn one, we're going to play our happy little Village Tender, our little Ewok. Turn two, we're going to start looking for victims. Preferably of the human variety. Stormtroopers would be pretty cool. We're just going to look for somebody to eat. So we're going to play Drain Essence, which is a 2 cost, 2 damage, and you get to get the Force. But we're going to basically consume this being. You know, if it's Stormtrooper, like a Death Star Stormtrooper, perfect. It kills him. If it's, the First Order Stormtrooper, it's fine. Kills him. So we're going to eat him. And then on the next turn, we're going to play Consumed by Dark Side. So we're basically going to do 2 damage to the Village Tender, but he's going to get 2 experience. That's going to be him. It's going to be him digesting, the food that he's taken in and becoming stronger for it. We could also play Last Words. Does a similar effect if a unit that we control had died that turn. So that's the little thing we want to do here. We're gonna play our Ewok. We're gonna consume their soul, and then we're going to digest it.
I love it.
The only Ewok. I mean, let's just call it like I just don't understand. Okay, just why just one? Like, tell me why just one. Two, we went through. We had a a famine of creatures in this whole game until set 5, right? But then one Ewok. I don't know. I just
Well, they made
that
sure to print
hurt.
Terra Tactic.
I love that
That one
card.
had that one had to
Don't
go. I mean,
badmouth
I
my
love the
boy.
card.
That's a great
Hey man,
level in KOTOR.
I hunted them, frequently in KOTOR. I'm just saying,
Great XP.
Ewoks is a little bit more.
Yeah, I am surprised that we didn't get like a chieftain or something,
Yeah,
or like, yeah.
Ewok tribal.
As creature heavy as this set is, you would have thought that we would have had more than one Ewok, but
Still, very cool meme, Steve. Thank you.
Thanks.
Approved. All right,
Yeah, approved.
let's get into the hot take. Steve, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. So my hot take is I don't think that this limited set is any good at all. Like I like the cards, I like the flavor, I like it all, but I don't think it was pushed very hard. You've got basically half the leaders in this set are not even limited playable.
No, they're
Like
very hard to make work.
you can't. I mean, you can try and make a Kylo Ren limited deck. I saw Tyler did it. He got a 17 toughness Kylo, but even he admitted, that's super Disneyland. That'll never happen again. You got Morgan Elspeth. We had a new player, Dante, sit next to me, who opened up a showcase in Morgan Elspeth, which is, as a new player, that's exciting. Like, right? Like, I want my new players to be excited, and they got a showcase. No, I can start building. You could see his gears turning. Like, oh, I can start building a deck with this and this. And then he read the card and he said, "Oh, this isn't very good, is it?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well, I guess I'll sell it." Awesome. Cool. So we got new players coming in. They're excited about the pre-release, excited to open these new cards, and they open up a showcase and oh, they suck. Sorry. Like a lot of these cards, what are we doing? Like Ray, what are we doing? Barris Offie is cool. I like the flavor, but not limited playable, and I can't get her to work for Premiere for
Dude,
worth.
my
Like
dog, the Grand
it's
Inquisitor, just not that guy.
Darth he's I mean he's at least a 5 cost 3/5 shielded, so I mean I'll give him that. I put him on the playable side for me for limited, but like Darth Revan, love Revan, can't play him in limited because I can't build a 30 card deck if I have only one aspect.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible. Anakin Skywalker, love the card. I love being able to play him in Premiere. I love being able to overwhelming barrage my Luke Skywalkers. That's awesome. Can't play him in limited because I mean, what am I going to splash? I'm going to splash one, the hidden thing, the Inquisitor. What is it, Inquisitor, where you get to retrieve a Force Jedi or lightsaber out of your discard? Like, what am I playing? You know what I mean? There are 17 villainy cards in the set, 17 villainous non-unit cards in the set. 10 of them are rare, and one of them's legendary. So cool. I've got what 6 I think left. Like I can't build a 30 card deck out of that, and then the fact that it's only one aspect. You know what I mean? Like it's so frustrating, and there's no removal. Like there's, in my opinion, the removal sucks. Like we got what Shatterpoint. We've got the
Sorcerer's
3
Blast.
Crushing Blow. Sorcerer's Blast is pretty decent,
Yeah.
but you have to be
Its
in a 4
worst
stack.
exists,
So
but
like,
you got to get to 7.
and it does 3 damage. Guess what the new toughness on everything is now? It's like 4 or 5, so it doesn't really kill anything. So I played against Michael in the draft, and I played a turn 1 Kylo. A turn 2, I snoked him up, so he got the experience counter. Turn 3, I put constructed lightsaber on him, and then gave him another experience counter and swung
Well,
for
that's
8.
nuts.
And he's just looking at me like he's like, "What am I supposed to do about this? I don't have any removal." And I'm like, "I don't know. I guess just die." Like I don't, you know what I mean? It rewards bad behavior. It rewards these new players. It teaches them that if you throw all your eggs in one basket, you're gonna win. And then they're
Just
gonna
like the
show
real
up
world,
Monday
right?
to. They're gonna show up Monday to their premiere, and they're gonna throw all their crap on their Aura Sing, and then I'm going to power the dark side them, and that's going to be a real feel bad moment. So like, why? I'm not a fan of the way that the set rolled out for limited. It's very, in my opinion, not very great.
So I was ready to disagree with Steve after our first pre-release, which I had a lot of fun at. However, I realized I had to run like 5 gray cards because I just didn't have enough. and out of the
I had to play one
pre-release.
will of the Force out of aspect just to have a removal, just to have something,
Hmm.
and all that does is put it back in their hand.
And yeah, I agree that a lot of the leaders are really, really hard to make work. Like I ran Snoke, and he's good. He's a good example. But like Steve said, I wasn't running a lot of villainy specific cards. Like it was mostly neutral cards because that was what I had to work with. Um, but what I did at the other pre-release that I went to, I said, "F it. I don't care about the Force. I don't give a crap. I'm gonna make a space deck." And because no one else was like, "Oh, everyone's gonna run the Force," dude, I crushed because like everyone was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I have 3 spaceships. What are you gonna do? What do you got removal? No, got no space. That's crazy. GG. Have a nice day." Um, like I would have 3 freaking strike ships out there, and I'd be powering them up with Snoke, and they'd hit for 4 like each, and I'd be like, "Oh, what are you gonna do about it?" They're like, "I guess die." I,
Just what FFG intended,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Cole, are you aware that jump to light speed was last set? Nah, no, 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 no. Let me tell you, this is the space set, homie.
Strike ship goes brrr.
Strike ship do go burr. Ruben.
Yeah. I have to agree with probably 97% of what Steve said. The 3% is just because I have to not agree with everything.
Fair, fair, fair.
But no, I
That's fair.
think just playing in limited, just playing this set, once units got a couple of upgrades on them with experience, you can't get rid of them. There's
Yep.
not enough removal. You have to literally throw all your guys into killing one guy. The guy that is a 7/7 that costs 7 that when it drops you get to bring out something into play.
Keller and Beck.
Dude, that guy is
Gets
just a
nuts.
GG. When he drops, it's like, all right,
It's a
cool.
U-wing plus a 7/7 body.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, how do I
He's
deal
not
with
even
that?
rare.
I
No,
mean,
he's
That's crazy.
uncommon. He's everywhere.
He's
yeah,
uncommon.
He's in
right.
the
So
walls.
So basically, once there's a couple units out there, typically when you're playing, you can swing, do a few damage here and there, but if you're not attacking their other units, especially when they start getting bigger, you're gonna be losing. And I felt like every time I played, and if anyone was able to drop a big unit, I couldn't deal with it because I didn't
Yup.
have any removal. So yeah,
Plo Koon.
yeah, I'm not loving the. There was not enough ways to remove units, either remove them, bounce them. There's just not enough of that, which made it feel pretty bad when you couldn't do anything except, okay, well, do I race? Okay, great. Now I'm gonna race, but they have now a 7 unit, 7 power unit now, and it's just, yeah. So I agree with that. It's really really tough to make things work with what you have. I was running Ahsoka thinking, okay, good, I can make something Sentinel. That's fine and dandy, but I can't get rid of any of their stuff. So. But yeah, I agree with what Steve was saying with that.
Chris.
Sorry, I was over here looking at everything. Um, I will agree, and sorry I spoiled that in the beginning there. My bad. Um, yeah, I will agree with what Steve has said. I think there are ways you can be creative, but it really depends on what's coming around. Because I think that, folks, as soon as you see a removal card, you're gonna grab it because options are limited in this set. I think, if you wind up seeing Shatterpoint, you're gonna immediately want to play blue. Um, because and if you get more than one, then you're going to wind up, having decent removal options, and immediately want to play blue. Um, yeah, I know. What was Protect the Pod was the other card that made a difference in games I was in,
Oh yeah, that's a
but
great one.
yeah, but
That's good.
again, it was very heavy. When especially if you come up with I came up against Ahsoka decks that when big units were dropped, like Jedi Guardian, like it just crushed. Like I just couldn't deal with it because it was anything I was trying to swing into it, it was hitting me back for 6, and so I couldn't swing at the base. all of my units were dying, so it just yeah, it's rough. I also think that there's a big difference um, between Premier and Limited and
Yeah.
how things play. Even I mean, like you've got Ahsoka who like dominates in Limited, but then when you take her into
Yeah.
Premier, yeah, uh,
Right.
it's just very interesting how this set balances or doesn't balance out. Um, and it'll be interesting to see how things go as we move forward and a meta really starts to form.
And people might be wondering why we're ripping in so hard to pre-release because, oh, well, don't you guys care more about Premiere and Twin Suns? I mean, yes, a little bit. Ultimately, this format is designed to be a drafting format. Like, let me rephrase that. This game is designed to be a drafting game, not even format. Um, this was always designed to be a limited kind of game. Like, it's always going to be fun to draft. So I guess that's why we're kind of taking it so seriously because we want to hold FFG to their word and their dedication to that.
And we play all,
Frustrating because, like, oh, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say we play all of the formats and we enjoy all of the formats.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you know, we focus on Twin Suns, but we want everyone to enjoy all of the formats that you play.
It's like Magic. You know, it it was never intended to be drafted. You know, that was something that just kind of came out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And this game has the advantage of seeing that and then building upon it. So like for them to kind of fumble, it's frustrating.
Yeah. Like we said, we don't think the set sucks. That is not what we are saying.
No, I do like the set. I
Not by a
just
long
wish
shot.
some things
Exactly.
had
I
been
love this set. There's a lot of
had been
upgrades I've been
tweaked.
putting into my
You know,
decks. We're saying from the limit, from an objectively from a limited point of view, it is not great for new players to learn the way to play the game. Also, while we're just kind of like crapping on FFG, let's just talk about the prestige boxes that quote unquote may or may not have a carbonite edition, or excuse me, prestige card in the carbonite boxes. So if you look, and I'll have a picture up on screen. If you look at the back of these boxes of the carbonite boxes, I had never looked at these before till Ruben had brought this up when we started talking about this. It says on the back of the box that each pack includes at least a hyperspace. So I don't know if we just never heard about this in set 4 because maybe not enough of the boxes were opened, or if people just didn't complain about it. It seems like with this new set, and possibly in the past, there are carbonite packs that do not have prestige cards inside of them. In fact, we have a couple friends who have had this experience a little bit, like not their whole box, but a couple packs were missing, which is just a fascinating fumble. But is it a fumble if it says at worst you get a hyperspace? I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out. What do you guys think?
FFG was just like, take it back if they don't have one in it. Didn't they? I feel like didn't they come out with something like
Yeah, they
that?
say go to your
They
LGS.
said
I'm like,
something like,
that's not the LGS's
right.
fault, big dog.
That is exactly. It's not.
But if I'm paying $25 for a pack and there is not a prestige, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be very upset. That's crazy.
I mean, I would be upset too, but the way that was phrased, it doesn't guarantee you
Yeah. So
prestige.
unfortunately, I think they might be okay. But like Steve said, but then why would FFG come out and say complain to your LGS instead of saying, well, look at the back of the box? I don't know.
I mean, overall, if you think about it, if there is, 100% of boxes sent out and maybe 3 to 5% of them don't have it, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the numbers game, right?
I don't
Like
even
how
think
much.
it's that high.
No, I'm just saying. So it's kind of like one of those things where, at the end of the day, it's a smaller number. Like the
Yeah.
only thing that I had with my issues with my packs that I opened, which is the first time I experienced this, where I had a lot of cards that were miscut.
Yeah.
So which was, new for me, but hey, they still turn sideways. I'm good with it, but it's just kind of different to see. So it's like,
Yeah, I had that issue with one of my set 4 boxes. Yeah, it's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, I think my ultimate take about this is just technically, since it only says there has to be a hyperspace, they're not wrong, but this just feels scummy. Like selling $25 packs that may or may not have a quote unquote hit inside them. That's just crazy. And I'm not blaming the
Does it
LGS when I'm
cost that
saying that.
much
I'm blaming
more?
FFG to be very clear.
Does it cost that much more just to make it a prestige card? Like, I don't understand why. Why not? Why not do it?
This feels like a QA issue that they're blaming on a different thing, but I'm not sure.
No.
Maybe it's because, and the other reason I'm concerned about this is because this is the first set that's going to be hitting general shelves. So if we have box mapping issues and QA issues, you can't
now, yeah.
First impressions, people. We can't mess up the people's first boxes. I don't know. That's another one of my concerns. And I guess we're gonna see when it starts hitting shelves literally tomorrow in Target and Walmart and stuff. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I'm about to head on to Walmart tomorrow.
I bet you the LGSs have better
Excited.
prices, but I actually am kind of curious to see what they look like. Chris, sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think based on prestige cards and the rate that they opened in the last set, I would think that we are accustomed to always having that card. But if there's someone new coming into the set, they're probably going to look on the back and see, and and read that text that does not guarantee that card.
That might make
You know
sense.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe they won't be upset. Quote unquote, maybe we're accustomed slash spoiled. But like you said, FFG had that response of take it back to your LGS, but if I were them, I would have said that.
Yeah, that was a bold choice, Cotton.
Indeed.
Closing thoughts, anyone? I feel like we've wrapped this one up pretty good. Like once again, good set, just the QA a little missed and the limited formatting it's a little bit not as pretty as we thought it would be.
Just get your leaders together, man. Like, I don't know if it's the testing group, it's who it is, but we gotta stop nerfing these guys. Like,
yeah, I don't get why we don't have people like from the community testing the game. Like, I understand that FFG has their own testers, but like,
Yeah, and I know we're kind of talking a little bit about this. My biggest thing when it comes to leaders, like if anyone pulls a leader, it should be playable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, Jen Urso, set 1.
Oof.
I mean, really. So it's like,
rough.
I don't know. It's like every set, you get 18 leaders. Okay, well, out of those 18 leaders, how many are playable? What, 25% of them? Maybe?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's like, okay, we've got 90 leaders, but how many can you actually play?
20, maybe 25.
Yeah.
And if I can't play them in limited, then when the hell am I gonna play them?
Yeah.
Like, there's almost no scenario in which I'm ever gonna sleeve up
Twin
Ray
Suns for
just
a
because
joke.
I'm like, when am I gonna? Yeah, exactly. If I do it for the memes, I guess.
Me.
But
to be a clown for your friends. All right. Let's go on. Ruben, I want to hear about this from you because I want to hear a little bit about this card because I just learned about this card also from this game.
Yeah. So one of the decks that one of the leaders I was really excited about when I saw it released, because I like the theme of this leader is Avar Chris. I guess that's how you say her name.
Sounds right to me.
Is that right?
Sounds
Okay,
right
we'll
to
go
me.
with that.
Never heard it.
So basically, I want to build a deck around her. Her ability is basically, she's a green leader. She has an action that the force is with you whenever you exhaust it. But if The number of resources you control plus the number of times you use the Force. This phase is 9 or more. Deploy the leader. Cool. When you deploy this leader while the Force is with you, it's a +4/+0, and it gains overwhelm. So it's an 8/10. So I was like, okay, this is really cool, right? I was like, all right, 9. Okay, I could get there. Sure, no problem. So that got me thinking. It's like, okay, so who is this person? I have no idea who. I always keep saying because I forgot what her name was when this game was released. I was like, yeah, she looks like Zelda. Yeah, Zelda. Yeah, right. So anyway, I went down a dive last night when I was looking up this card, and she is a female Jedi Master of the Jedi Order during the High Republic era, who was heavily involved in the aftermath of a hyperspace catastrophe known as the Great Hyperspace Disaster. I was like, okay, that's kind of crazy. So, what I learned more about this was that this was first introduced in a Marvel's comic, The Rise of Kylo Ren 3. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. But confirmed in the High Republic Light of the Jedi novel. So basically, she was introduced in a comic and then in a novel, and that was pretty neat, right? So I started digging a little bit more. But then that hyperspace catastrophe dealt with another Legends of the Force card called the Legacy Run,
Mhm.
which blew up and caused a disaster that is fitting of the when defeated ability that says deal 6 damage divided as you choose among enemy units. Because this was the legacy run exploded and her, all the stuff was doing damage and she was trying to clean up the mess, if you will. So started digging some more. I was like, oh, this is crazy. But this was also the first time I've heard of another character other than Anakin being in a relationship. Like Jedi, you think,
Oh, Ruben.
right?
No,
Okay,
I'm about
again,
to shatter your world. They're really hypocritical. They're
but what I'm saying is me,
Jedi be
for
getting it
someone
on,
who's
man.
only known what I've seen on the movies and stuff like
That's
that, because
fair.
I didn't read none of the novels. I didn't read none of that stuff. So apparently, this the Padawan was Elzar Mann. He was the one who trained with her, and they later become best friends. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I thought just overall with this leader, I thought it was really cool what I've learned. Not only did I learn about who she was, but also about another Legends of the Force card that kind of got me down there. So I thought it was kind of cool. So I was pretty excited about it and learned about that where she was from. So yeah, that's my
Awesome.
lower corner.
Thank you very much. All right. You guys ready to hear me rant about prices of cardboard?
Let's do it.
All right. We're going to run through this kind of quickly. So for SWU, I'm not going to talk too much about Legends of the Force because, like we said, this is still the day before the set fully releases. I want to see what those prices do next week. But for price shifts, y'all, the General's Blade I told you to pick up weeks ago, I was so right. At one point on the 6th and 7th, it was going for $15 each. It's back down to about 6 because the market's getting dumped. I think it'll probably stay around there, maybe go down to 4, but we'll see. Victor Leader has dropped off to about $8.75 from an all-time high of about $20, which is one of the rarest from JTL. Dude, this floored me. Force throws $2. Like an uncommon card is $2, which is just that's crazy. Posed at a new all-time low at 26. I would actually suggest picking these up if you want to play any pose in your deck. Luke Green is also at an all-time low at 575. Now there are 2 of them also at an all-time low of $8 if you need some of them. They're going to be really good in most Sith decks, actually. I think a lot of Sith decks are going to run that, and Jedi decks. For the Sealed of the Week, if you feel like gambling, Shadows boxes are your way to go. Your hits include Poe Dameron, the Dark Saber, and Krayt Dragon. You're looking for those 3 big things, and I think Kylo Ren's going to come back a little bit, but we'll see. The buy of the week, y'all. Aggression is only $4 a piece. That's not bad if you run a double red deck like a Kylo deck now, especially with the Force upgrades. And then Poe's not bad to pick up for 26. What are the big money pulls I'm looking for the new set? My dogs, you're looking for the Darth Vaders at 35, the Anakins at 30, Yoda at 15, Grand Inquisitor at 12, and the constructed lightsaber at 15. little bit of Magic the Gathering update. I saw this one card, the Neon Chocobo, in blue. It's going for $2,650, which is kind of
Well,
cool.
that's it.
That's it. Easy. Just a mortgage payment. Um, the Spider-Man collector boxes are already at 750. That's going to be a crazy set. Edge of Eternity's 140 for play boxes, 415 for collectors. Pokemon's still pretty doomed. The Prismatic reprint should help, but the next set is already being scalped with ETBs at 115 for Black Bolt and 95 for White Flare, which, reminder, those are supposed to be $60. And that's my summary.
Yeah, that is the Darth Vaders. This is the new ones from the new set,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, the blue
Okay,
ones are
yeah.
35. Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
for as amount of many of the ones I've gotten, I feel like that's a good price point. I think the card is so good too,
Yeah,
and
I think it's gonna
everyone
stay
loves
there.
Vader. So I think that's a good price point for it too. So yeah, I did get a couple hyperspace foil Yodas for 15 each, so I'm pretty excited about getting those in. Put it in my Avar Chris deck when I get it. And
Nice.
speaking of General's Blade, Cole, I think you have an extra or two. I do need one if you're willing
Ooh,
to
yeah, I have
trade it.
one. Yeah.
All right, cool. Making trades during the podcast. Let's go.
Absolutely, baby. All right. Do you guys want to do the debatable?
Yeah, I want to do that.
Craving Power's the upgrade, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Craving Power is the upgrade that Steve is speaking very highly about. So I want to kind of debate him on that and tell him why I
Let's do
think
it.
that card is what it is. So Steve, tell
Sounds
me
great.
why do you think this card is so good and why should I be playing it in my Kira Data Vault version of my deck?
Because you're playing Data Vault, you're playing 10 extra cards, which means your deck is not going to be as consistent as you'd like. The optimal Kira, like the way her games optimally go, is that turn one you play whatever, Pershing or Pike Sentinel or whatever. Turn two you play some form of ramp, whether it be Super Laser Tech or Resupply,
Yummy.
enabling a turn three flip into Overwhelming Barrage. Like that's kind of like the dream. Like that's what we're going for. But because you're in Data Vault, you're not always going to see that Overwhelming Barrage because you've diluted your deck a little bit. So having one, maybe two. I've been playing one, but I could see two. I kind of flip flop on that one. But having that extra, it's not as good as Overwhelming Barrage, but it does fulfill a similar role in that you can flip Kira, you can, hurt the board, and then Craving Power will let you just take care of whatever their nastiest thing is. And the benefit is it buffs Kira permanently. So now you have a leader that has grit, that has 10 toughness, that can all of a sudden swing for 11 if you can get, all of her damage on her and, have one health left. So I'm a big fan of Craving Power. I think it's, you play Devastator for that similar effect. Like, obviously, having a 10/10 Sentinel with Overwhelm is great, but that enter the battlefield effect to just nuke a unit definitely helps.
Mm-hmm.
So that it kind of gives you kind of like a mini effect of that. It's not as good as Overwhelming Barrage. I would never say that, but I definitely think that it's like we have Overwhelming Barrage at home, which if you're comparing a card to Overwhelming Barrage, I think that means it's got to be pretty decent.
Okay. All right. I like the logic. I just know that I guess the way I play Kira, you've been playing Kira from the as the kids say it from the jump.
No.
But I I think Craving Power it just takes too long to set up. Um, you
Mm-hmm.
have to flip Kira. If you were playing against, and I'll give you a perfect example. If I'm flipping Kira, I'm flipping her. She's got 4 damage on her, and I give you a perfect example. I'm playing against Quinlan Voss. They will force throw, try to get rid of it, kill it off. Okay, cool. Now you have another unit you could put it on, maybe, right? But I look at it as this: if I have 5 mana, or 5 mana, wow, if I have 5 resources and I'm going to play something, I'd rather play something that's going to impact the board immediately. This is going to impact it and keep it there, but I feel like it's got too much setup. Like, okay, have to have a unit there that's going to stay. Kira, I get it. I think it's a great card when you get to play it, but I just feel like I would rather play a devastating gunship, possibly remove a unit, get something out in the field. I just know that there are a lot of cards that can get rid of Kira when she flips right now with force throw, takedown or whatever that can get rid of her. I guess that's the way I look at it. I do like it. Don't get me wrong. I do like it. I might try it out as a one of at the most, but I just feel like if I'm going to play a 5-drop or maybe a 3-drop and a 2-drop, if I don't have Overwhelming Barrage and stuff like that, I guess I would just rather be playing other things and flooding the board a little bit, especially since Kira Data Vault, you're like my deck is early aggro, some mid range, and of course, then late game, I just have my cards are bigger and better than yours. That's the way I look at it, right? So, to me, don't get me wrong, I like it.
Well,
I get it. I like it. I would rather put more on the board.
maybe
I
we can hear from-
totally can get that.
Yep,
What'd you say?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I totally understand wanting to have like more high impact cards like Devastating Gunship and they're like that have like an enter the battlefield effect and do develop your board. But I would argue that Craving Power almost develops your board more than cards like Force Throw or Overwhelming Barrage, in that it does stick around. Like the Overwhelming Barrage gives you that buff, but only for that turn, not really developing. Whereas Craving Power does at least kind of like boost the unit that it lands on. And I mean, to have the unit, I mean, Force Throw requires that you have a Force unit in play, so it does require some setup. Overwhelming Barrage requires that you have a unit in play that has significant power to be able to get a 2-for-1 or a 3-for-1. So like everything kind of has its own setup. I just see that Craving Power is kind of like a it just like gives you more repetitive.
So when you play
more
Craving
instances
Power,
of that
do you
effect.
feel like you've gotten further ahead? Do you feel like you've balanced it out a little bit, or do you feel like it is it catches you up when you play the card? How do you feel when you play it?
Most of the time Kira falls into that back and forth kind of vibe where they're playing something, I'm playing something to answer it. They play something to answer my stuff, I play something to answer their stuff. So Craving Power is kind of like my way of answering whatever they did. So it's kind of like that back and forth thing. So like you can play a Vanquish or No Glory Only Results or Takedown or Fell the Dragon or all these cards that just 1-for-1, like they just I have this card, I trade it for your card. Craving Power almost kind of does that like 1.5 cards because I mean it definitely can take care of a card while also sticking around and giving you additional value. So
Yeah,
I would say it's almost
I'll be
like,
real. I will test it out, and at least as a one of, because you're right. There's a lot of no glory only results. The devastating gunship, craving power, and overwhelming mirage would be really good options to have on that turn to do an answer. So yeah, like I said, I wasn't loving it, but I like the idea of having an extra option out there, especially if you're running Data Vault with 10 extra cards. So yeah, that's my debate. I'm willing
Awesome.
to try it out, but not 100% loving it.
Well, that was a fun new segment. Steve,
What's
shall we
that
play Name
card?
That card?
do it.
All right.
I got a tough one. I don't think y'all are gonna get this one.
Oh boy, I'm down. What's the order?
It's gonna go Chris, Ruben, and then Cole.
Cool. Chris?
I will start with my normal question of what are the aspects?
The aspects of this card are cunning, heroism.
What set is this from?
This is from set 2.
Is this a ground unit?
This is a ground unit.
Are there any keywords in this ground unit?
Yes, this card does have a keyword. Yes, it does have a keyword.
Like
You're not gonna give us what the keyword is?
It's
That's
a
scummy.
smuggle.
Rude.
That's scummy.
it,
Smuggle.
it did feel a little dirty.
Oh, um, um. Okay, okay. It's smuggle, huh? I'm
Schmuggle.
gonna
It
say
is smuggle?
Yes, it is
Oh,
schmuggle.
crap. I had a different thing. I thought it would be a bounty.
okay. Um, all right. I'm gonna take a guess because I never get these. I'm gonna say it's the L337 or L3 whatever card. That's my
It's a
guess.
good guess, but it is not L337.
Cool.
Hmm.
And then there were two.
What's the cost of this card?
Cost is 4. Back to Chris, and this is the final and third question.
um, um,
Heroism yellow.
I'll be real, I have never heard of this card. I'm pretty sure it just popped up yesterday.
It just spawned into existence.
Yeah, I think it just spawned into existence.
Chris?
yeah, I'm blanking out here. Is there a what are the traits?
Underworld. Just
Okay.
Underworld.
Okie dokie. 4 yellow heroism smuggle, and it's an underworld, you say? Isn't there some rebel 4 cost? No, that would because then it would have the trait of rebel.
It's
It's not bounty hunter crew, is it? No, that's different. I have no earthly idea. I'm gonna go with bounty hunter crew. I know it's not right.
It is not Bounty Hunter Crew.
Chris,
Can I
what's
get
your-
one more guess?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you one more guess.
No, I already looked at the answer.
Oh, well then I do not give you another guess.
Boo.
Well, to be fair, my guess did have smuggle in it, and it was cunning and heroism. So I'm getting better at this.
Chris.
I picture it in my head, but I don't. It's something, some kind of outlaw, and it's got a it's like got like a elongated face, but I'm
Oh,
not gonna
hey, you know what? That's good enough for me. I'll give it to you off that because that was more than I would have been able to do. Principled Outlaw
Okay, yeah. Now
is
that
a.
you've said it, I remember seeing that card at some point, but yeah, I'd never.
I have never seen this card. I don't know. Maybe I just missed it, but Underworld 4/4 on attack. You may exhaust a ground unit, and it has Smuggle 6.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
He's like
That's
wearing a
cool.
suit and tie. It's pretty cool.
I know.
when you have like 6 and 7 and 8 copies of cards, you remember them when you're going through and pulling bulk out, but you don't remember all the specifics because you're like, I'm never gonna play this card.
It's just hanging on to it.
Awesome. Well, that was
Good
fun.
job. Good job,
Yeah,
Chris.
good job, Chris. Now you get to play next week. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and goodbye now.